Hello everybody. So this is an assembly guide for the Sauder, S-A-U-D-E-R Corner Computer Desk, the Carson Forge Collection. So these are the pieces. I try to do a little bit of an overview of all the different pieces that are usually pretty well marked. And the manual has them quite clearly marked as well, including the hardware. As you can see, there's quite a few. And it's a good idea, obviously, to lay them all out and have the easy access, have a lot of room to work. So here's the hardware, and there's quite a bit of hardware. We're going to start off with needing twist lock fasteners for the first part of this, and we're going to use the small boards that are labeled with G, and they've got like 4 little circles on the sides there that you put the fasteners in, and the threaded portion of the fastener will stick out of the hole on the side of the G boards. After which you will get the 2 J boards and an E and an F board, and put the hidden cams in the circles for this. Now these hidden cams are different than the twist locks in that they don't have like a threaded part coming out. There's a little arrow on the hidden cam, and that arrow, when you put it in the circle or the hole, should be pointing towards the hole on the side of the board. And then you will stick a cam dowel in that hole. And it will go inside of the hidden cam. The threaded end will be out of the board. So you'll repeat this process for both the J boards and the E and the F board. The J boards have this done on each side, while the E and the F boards have it only on one side. Okay, so these right here are going to be the J boards. The other ones were the E and the F. So this is the J boards. So you will put the hidden cam in each of the circle or hole in the board, as you can see here. Make sure that arrow is facing out, and then you will use again the cam dowel, which will slide in the side of the hidden cam, again with the kind of threaded looking end out. So this project, as I can continue with the hidden cams on these 2 boards. This project is substantial. It's not a bad idea to have the manual. I'm putting the cam dowels in, as you can see here. Try to get or download the manual. If you don't have it, it might be difficult to just watch the video here and do it, but you can give it a shot. Hopefully the video is clear enough that maybe you could do it without a manual, but I would not be 100% certain of that. Especially as we advance, I might miss a part or 2 with my battery dying on the GoPro, but I think I identify that later on. Okay, so moving on, you can see I have the boards laid out. We're going to be working on the A, B, C, and D boards, which, as you can see there in the lower portion and on the mid right, they have like this curve cut out of them. That's the A, B, C, and D boards. And we'll put more hidden cams and cam dowels in the A, B, C, and D boards. Again, these are the boards that have like some curvature to them. And you got to be a little bit careful here because the holes that are next to the curves, you're not supposed to put the cam dowels into those edges. Okay, so you see where the curve is, and this is why you want the manual. You don't want to put the cam dowel in that portion. But let's see here if I show clearly. I mean, I'm still putting the hidden cams in the various spots. Basically, the only place you'll put the cam dowels are the straight end, not where the curvature is. So you won't put a cam dowel in any of the other hidden cams. So that's the straight end, the opposite end of where the curve is. See, the curve there is right in the middle. So the opposite end is, oh, I'm still putting hidden cams in here. Would be like where my hand is, but not to the left on the bottom there. So again, the straight to two, that one there I put in, the hidden, oh, not that one. We don't want to put a cam dowel in there, and the cam dowel against the long one with the threading. So I'm still putting the hidden cams in. I'm sure I'll get to the part. So this one we will put a cam dowel in there when we get to it. Oh, and I think, no, it's still hidden cams I'm still working on. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, a cam dowel will go there, in that, not here. Not here. A cam dowel will go here, yes. But not here. I think next I will be doing, yep, so I have the cam dowels now, and you can see I'm going to not do it there, but I will do it there. So that they go two of them on each board. Okay, not there, but again on the flat opposite of the curved end. Again, notice it's opposite of the curved end. Putting all the cam dowels in. Make sure that these are cam dowels you're putting in here and not the cam screws. They're different. The cam dowels you just poke in. The cam screws are these things. So now the next section is going to be with these legs. It's the two Q legs and the two R legs. And these are the legs of the desk. And you're going to put 3 cam screws in these legs. Now these are different than the cam dowels in that they have threading for screwing it in to the material, to the wood. Now you screw them down until they're flush against the leg, but don't, once it's flush, don't keep screwing it, if you strip it inside of the wood, and I say obviously the material, you could lose one, which is never a good plan. So just be careful screwing it in till it's flush. The flat part of it is flush against the material. And we're going to repeat this with all 4 legs. So, I'm guessing that I will show you screwing all of these in. I could probably have edited this to make it shorter, but I did not. Meanwhile, while I am screwing the rest of these in, if you have the opportunity to have a second person, it could come in handy later on. When you have to lift some of the assembled pieces, it could be heavy. Now, as the video goes on, I was real good at documenting as much as I could, but once I'm working inside of the cabinets, it got dark and I didn't have a light, so we're going to miss some of that inside of the cabinets. I'll try to explain it as best I can. But it's important probably to get the manual at some point. You can go to that sauder.com, SAUDER.com, and then /services/tips. And there might be even some videos to assist in parts of it, but at the very least you would think you would be able to get the PDF of the manual if you don't have it. And you could print it or look at it, on a tablet or whatnot. The video I'm making is designed to just help. Others. I see. I use these videos all the time to help me. So when I have an opportunity, look. So we're moving on to the next section. I'll jabber on later. We're going to be putting these rails on the G planks that we had put the twist lock fasteners in before. Now these rails, one of them is 40A as an alpha, X as an X-ray, and then 40A as an alpha, W as in whiskey. So 40 alpha whiskey, 40 alpha X-ray. And we're going to use these small flathead screws, and they're rather small. And short. They're 5/16 inches, and we're going to use these to fasten the rails to the G planks. Use the visual of the video maybe to help with where are the positioning of the rails. And make sure you have the right screw. It's a rather short screw. It's labeled 3S. It has like 2 threads on it. And it's a flat head on the screw, meaning the top of it is flat, although it's a Phillips head driver. So, so as we get these screwed into the G planks, tighten it down again. Don't crank it down so much that you strip it. That would be bad. Oh, these G planks I think are what hold, in fact I know, I think they hold the keyboard that slides in and out from the center of the desk. And honestly, I don't even use it. I could use it, I guess. Maybe I'll try to use it. Okay, so afterwards what we're going to do is take those legs, and if you recall we were working on A, B, C, and D. These are the planks with the curves. So we're going to attach the legs to the A, B, C, and D planks. But they have these metal end pieces that are called corner accents, and they're actually pretty. So you attach these to the flat end of the legs, not the angled end, the flat end. And unfortunately, I didn't have the GoPro angled down enough. You can see it a little bit there. Okay. And you do it on all of the legs, and you screw it in with a 1/2-inch machine screw. And it's basically got real tight threads on this screw and a rounded top. It's 1/2 inch, and the threads are very tight, if that helps to identify it. The number is 38S. So that's what you use to fasten the metal accents onto the non-angled edge of the legs, the flat end. And I'm trying to get it in there, but it's just a little bit high. But hopefully you get to see it at some point. Anyway, I'm screwing it on there. Again, don't strip. Don't crank. You don't ever need to crank it down. Can you see the accents? It's non-angled end, so just make sure you put it on the flat end. So then we're going to be putting the legs onto A, B, C, and D, which are the curved ones. And you're going to have to look at the visuals here, and you put the screw ends of those screw cams into the hidden cams, just like I'm showing there. So the angled end of the leg is going to go to the curved or angled end of the panels. Okay? Now the Q will go, one of the Q's will go into the B, one of the Q's will go into the D, okay, and one of the R's will go into A, and another R will go into C. It's always the angled ends going with the angled end of the panel. Okay, so you have to look at the visual to help with that. Once you slide the leg onto the panel, then tighten the hidden cam by turning it clockwise, and it will crank it down. Okay? So now I'm putting an R on the, I don't know, that was either the D or the C. I'm sorry, C or A. R goes on C and A panels. And once you put them on, then you tighten the hidden cams, as I am doing here. So while I show you the visual here with this stuff, again, going back to the website, for any additional assistance, I don't work with solder. I do this, just to help others. I needed the desk, so I videotape putting it together to help other folks, because I always use YouTube in the same manner. But anyway, so this, the manual tells you to go to Sauder.com. So it's SAUDER.com/services/tips. And I imagine there, if you punch in maybe the model number, This particular one is model number 416969. Corner Computer Desk Carson Forge Collection is this one here. I went there and didn't find the videos easily. I didn't look real hard, but it indicates at the top of the manual video. You know, so I imagine they have it. I didn't find it on YouTube anywhere. I mean, they have a bunch of other installation for other furniture and stuff, but I didn't see any for this one. That's one of the reasons I did it. Yeah, it's a pretty nice desk. So, and it's reasonably priced. I figure a lot of people are going to be buying this thing and perhaps need the help. So that's cool. I'm still cranking down these legs, are the legs on the A, B, C, and D panels. And I'm done now. So, this thing here. The next part is the extension slides. These things are a little difficult. You got to separate them, and you push this lever in and pull the slide out. You have to pull the slide apart. It's just pushing the middle in. I should have showed it in detail a little bit, but I was fiddling with it for a while, and I did not get to do that. You're going to use those little itty bitty, the same little flat screws that you use for the other wheeled rail. You're going to use it for this extension, and you're going to hook it to the C and the D panel. And, try to use a visual here, combined. So I'm not sure which this is, the C or the D panel. I'm looking at it to see if I can. It looks like it's that one's the C panel. Right there. And then this one here looks like it is the D panel. See, curving in, yeah, I think, yeah, I hope. Yeah, so that's why it's good to have the manual in combination with the video. Oh, wait a minute, so that thing sliding that way, may very well be that is the C panel. Not sure. Hopefully yours are labeled, or you can look at it visually now. So these, then you're going to put the rails 40 Charlie Baker and 40 Charlie Alpha on the C and the D panels. And again, use the visual here to help with placement. So see that one there, looks like it is the D panel, although I don't know, I get mixed up because I'm looking at it on the video while I do the audio here. Here, let's see here. No, that is the C panel for sure. Okay, so that's the C panel. And so the C panel is going to have the 40 Charlie Alpha rails on it, and the wheeled parts go, as shown there. And again, you're going to use those short little 3S screws. They have they're flat head and two little threads on them. All right, that's definitely the C panel. And so you use 40 Charlie Alpha. That's 40 CA. Then we're going to go to the D panel and do the same thing, but you're going to use 40 Charlie Baker on the D panel. That's 40 Charlie Baker, CB, for these two. And the wheeled area, or the little wheels of this, will go closer to the leg on both of them. Okay? So the wheeled area will go closer to the leg. And again, on the D panel, it's 40 Charlie Baker. So then you figure out whether you're gonna put the drawers on the right or the left. I'm still doing this though, I'm getting ahead of myself. I put the, that's weird. I ended up putting my shelves on the right. And somehow I ended up with my keyboard in the middle. But the instructions say the keyboard goes on the right or the left. What am I doing now? Oh yeah, so anyway, you gotta make the decision. I chose for the right. So now I'm making the drawers. And this looks like, well, it's going to be the A panel and the B panel. All of the drawers, actually, C and the D, are the walls to the drawers. And these are what I believe are the bigger, not the drawers, but the, I stand corrected, the sides of the drawers, where the drawers will go into. Ultimately, that's what these are. So J will be the bottom of these drawers, and that's the panel you initially had put the cams, the hidden cams, on all four sides. So you want the unfinished side of J, or the finished side, to be where the legs are. You know, where the legs are should be where the finished side. So the unfinished side of J is going to be where the legs are not to join panel A and B, and then to join panel C and D, as I'm showing you here. Now that's A and B. Now you can see J is this, and the unfinished side is not where the legs are. Now what happens is when you join them, the panels A and B have the cams sticking out of them, and you jam those into the hidden cams, and then you tighten them. So now I'm going to do C and D the same way, and again you see the unfinished side of J goes opposite the legs from C and D. And I stick the little cams that are in J already. We did that as the first step in C and D. See? And then you tighten them down. Simple as that. Tighten those cams down. Don't strip them like crazy. If you strip them, it makes a mess. So the next section is going to be where you're going to have to break out your drill and a half or quarter-inch drill bit. So while I'm tightening these, all right, there you go. So those are going to be the ends where the drawers are going to end up ultimately going. Now we're going to have a drill and pretty much use a visual on the A panel and the D panel. There's holes that are for some reason not fully drilled. So you use a quarter-inch drill pit and finish those holes. I'm not sure why they don't. Oh, you know why they probably don't have them pre-drilled? Because it's probably based on whether you're going to have the drawers on the right or on the left, and once you make that decision, maybe that's how it works out. Yeah, because it says drawers on the right, which is what I did. So now I'm doing the D panel and finishing those holes. With my Uber drill. And then okay, so now I'm going to put M and N. M's going to go with the A and the B panel. Now these are, I don't know, what are they? The back panel thing. They're kind of the thin little cardboard. And you're going to set it M on the A and B box. And N is in November on the C and the D box. And you're going to have to break out all these nails, and there's a whole mess of the nails, 38 of them to be exact. There's just teeny weeny nails. So you line these panels up on there, and make sure it's nice and even. And you'll see these little teensy weensy little holes, like guide holes in there. Make sure it's nice and even, and then hammer these little bad boys in. And it goes in quite securely. And you'll end up fastening M and N and completing the construction or assembly of those boxes. Or ends, I guess. Then, now we're going to find the big surface piece, H. This is the longest of the pieces, I believe. And with the door on the left, which is what I did, it'll be the A as an A and B panel box, attaching it to the H, the long desktop is what it is. Okay. Now this, you'll be attaching it to the surface with the holes, and it'll have like the curved edge will be matched up with the legged edge of the box. Now unfortunately we're start running into that lighting issue here. Once you slide it in there, you'll have to tighten those invisible cams. Okay, and now you can see it as it's attached. Then we're going to get the F and the E panels, which we had already put cams in, and we're going to put those together as shown here, the visual. And we're going to get these long flathead wood screws, as you can see there, and fasten them together. Okay? And make sure you look at the visual here to I mean, you could probably do it the wrong way here. That's hard for me to explain, but the sides with the two, each, the four cams sticking out will be together. Anyway, so you screw in the 1 7/8 inch flathead screws. These are long screws that have wood threading on them, and then kind of, they're flat. The head part is flat, but there's a little non-threaded area at the very end, so it's easier for you to find those. So you fasten the E and the F, which are a corner piece that you're basically assembling. So this is going to be the corner piece that ends up being like a leg that supports the center of the desk. Once you attach it to, you're going to be attaching it to the H desktop. So once we're done fastening these two panels, the E and the F panel that we just put together, the side with the prongs, the protruding cams, we will push into the H desktop. Alright, so here now I'm going to do it. So you can see how I'm doing. See the protruding cams, and then you slide it right on to the desktop.
I like honey better.
So,
Are you eating? Why is your babysitting?
no,
Here.
I'm busy.
Well, you're gonna put that babysit on. Come on, Ben. Honey. Come on, honey.
Okay, sorry for that interruption. I am not going to edit this. Once you put, I am not going to edit this. This is too hard. Not that I don't mind spending the time, but this one's a real complex one to put together. I'm tightening the cams down, by the way, now. Once you put this in, the cams on the E and the F panels, and you can't see it very well, but you know what it's the hidden cams. So once you slide it in there and you do the hidden cams, I guess it expands those protruding ones in some way. Not sure. Okay. Here we go. So see, you can see I'm tying in those hidden cams now to secure that center piece. Yeah, this is not a professional studio. It's all good. So, make sure you secure this good, but obviously don't strip it. And you can start to see the desk forming here. It's kind of interesting, right? So now what do they call this? The privacy panel or something. If it wasn't going to be against a wall, so people don't look up your shorts. So you're going to be putting this on. You might want to look at pictures or something to help you, but it basically goes like what I'm showing you there. So use the visual from the video to help. This is the K panel. And it has like, a hole in the part that goes against the desk, and that's for, routing wires and stuff. So make sure that's in the right place. And you're going to use these silver flathead wood screws, 1 1/8 inch. And these are wood threaded all the way to the head. For you to find it. There's going to be 4, and these will fasten the K panel to the F panel, and then you're going to use 3 of those long wood screws on the other end. They're the black ones that are threaded almost to the head but not all the way, and that's what you're going to use to fasten the A panel to the K panel. So K to F is the 1 1/8 inch, a shorter wood screw, and A to K is going to go from, right now, I'll tell you right now, I'm using the 1 1/8 inch flathead screws to fasten K to F. And then when I fasten the A panel, which is that whole unit on the side to the K panel, you won't be able to see so well because it's on the inside of the box. But right now I'm still just fastening K to F using those wood screws. And that's actually rather easy, and it's unfortunate I didn't have the GoPro angling down a little bit more. Now see, A to K here is on the inside of the box right here. And you're going to use those black long wood screws that I just showed you. And screw, I didn't show you. You know why I didn't show you? Because it was black in there. But I did fasten those in. So now, oh, this is when my battery died. Alright, so I had already done the other half. I didn't realize I missed so much, so I'm still trying to show you. We did it pretty similar, the other half. With C and D panel, went into the I panel. And then I uprighted the other assembly. So that C and D went onto the I long panel. And hopefully a little bit of the visuals there will help in pausing. And I apologize, but my battery died and I didn't know it. Okay, so once you get the assembly from that C and D and the I panel, and you flip over the other one, which is probably good you missed anyway because I did it by myself and was crying the whole time, that's when you put them together like you see here. And I do apologize for missing some of that stuff in there, but I don't have a very expensive GoPro, and it doesn't have any indicator when it's on even. Like there's no red light, nothing. It just sits there with the thing off, and I basically have to guess. That stinks. Anyway, so you match those two assemblies as I just showed you together, and you gotta make sure they're nice and matched up. And then it's time to climb underneath. And you use these metal brackets to put them together. Now the metal brackets I already had put on, I showed you with the I panel assembly, you could see it earlier. Now I got the light to show you the brackets. Now you can see these brackets are already attached to the I assembly before I put them together. And then once I slid them together, the two assemblies together, so it's already screwed into I, and then you just line it up with the H assembly, and then you screw it in. But again, you want to make sure it's nice and lined up and it's level there on the top, especially on the top. You don't want it to be a big giant bump. And here I'm gonna, after I show you how so double check when she's screwing it down that the assembly is nice and even on the top. Okay, so I'm showing you the connection with A and the K panel there. I don't know what I'm doing here. It's not connected. What is that? The I panel. I'm sorry. Oh, I see. So the D panel. Not sure what I'm doing here. Sorry. Might be. Oh, okay. I'm just, I guess, making sure that we're putting in the privacy panel and making sure it's secure against the C and D thing. So here's the door and the hinges on the door. I'm going to use the black 1/2-inch flathead wood screws to fasten these hinges onto the door, which is labeled O. And you just fasten them down. Don't worry about adjustments or anything just yet. Use the visual to make sure you got that right. You also got to put the little door handle. I haven't done that yet. We'll be doing that next. Okay. Afterwards, you are going to fasten it to the B panel, the door into the B panel. And pretty much just, fasten it using the black 1 1/8 inch machine screws. So these are the rounded black screws that have very tight threads, and they're over 1 inch long. Oh, that's for the knob. Never mind. I apologize. You do use the continue using the black 1/2 inch flathead screws to put the hinges in. You can see I'm getting pooped out doing this. It was hard enough putting it together without narrating this nightmare. So I'm still screwing it in here. I don't know if I'm fiddling with the adjustments. You're gonna have to adjust these, almost guaranteed. It's not gonna fit quite right, and adjustments are not difficult. You know, just screwing it and unscrewing it. The little adjustment screws in there. There's a horizontal and a vertical adjustment screw. If you look at the manual, it shows you which is which. I think I'm still cranking it down. Oh, now I'm going to put the knob on. And the knob is the one with that machine screw I was talking about before. It's the black metal, or, you know, a lot of threads on it with a rounded end. Put that on. Oh my God, I'm almost done. 10 more minutes of video. Imagine putting it together. Oh, what is this thing? Doesn't even say in the instruction. That must be like the stopper. Oh yeah. Looks like you just stick it in there. That little stopper thing. You just stick it in there with your thumb. Oh, I remember. Yeah, it didn't go in very well. I got the hammer out. Get it in there. That's the thing that stops the door when you close it so it doesn't slam. Alright, so this is the keyboard deal. And, you know, it's weird because the instructions say it goes on the right or the left, and somehow mine's in the middle. It's weird. It comes out on an angle. Yeah, look at the screws in my thing are on an angle. I imagine you can do it on either side too if you look at it. But these are those G panels again that we already put the railings on and stuff. And you just find those holes and crank down the hidden cam locks and look at the visual for the direction. And this is what the keyboard's going to go on. And I mean, it's nice in the middle. I like it. The rollers are good. I guess you could put it on the right or left. And you know what? I don't think it would look good. I don't think it'd be good on the right or left. Okay. Anyway, so what am I doing here? I'm putting more railings on the L panel. What's this L panel go? Oh, this is are these the drawers? So put the 40AZ and the 40AY. Oh, this is the keyboard. So this is the keyboard panel. And you're going to use the railing, the 40AZ and the 40AY metal rails. And you're going to fasten it on with those 1 inch brown flathead screws. So these are brown and they're like wood screws. And they're 1 inch. So you use the wood screws to fasten these rails, and obviously once you're done doing that, you can put the keyboard on the G panels that you had already attached to the desk. And the roller end is going to be extending out. See how it's sticking out? And then just try to use the visual to help. And then we're going to start goofing around with making the drawers. When I'm done with this keyboard here. So here's the drawers. I started with, I don't know which one, the S panel drawers. And just use the visuals on this as best you can. This is where you're going to need the manual also. But the visuals hopefully will help a little bit. And then you slide the back panel in to make a drawer. And they pretty much just fit in there like that. You like kind of like no screwing in until you put the back little panel thing on. And almost like once you assemble the entire drawer with those grooves, you end up using those big long black flathead screws, almost 2 inches long, like 1.5 inches long. There's 12 of them you'll use for all the drawers. So you're going to use like these wood screws, the big long ones, to attach the back part, and that actually is what holds the entire drawer assembly together. Oh, look, I got a helper. And there's the drawer. That's the big one. You got to do the other two in a similar manner. I don't know if I showed putting that one together or not here. Oh, we still got to do the rails for the drawers too. These are the smaller drawers here. Doing it the same way. That's the bottom of the drawer. It slides in there. This is the finished end. You want the rough end or the finished end in there. We get the back piece and then we screw that in the same way. I don't know if I go through all of these or not. It's pretty easy to put those together. You gotta kind of have one of those ratcheted screwdrivers though. Doing this stuff with a regular screwdriver would be a nightmare, or maybe an electric screwdriver if you're good with it. Not a heavy one of those lighter electric ones. A heavy one would probably wear you on after a while. So, I'm still putting the drawers together. Yay! Okay, now we're going to do the railings on the drawers. Use a 40 Charlie Delta and the 40 Charlie CC on the thin drawers. Actually, on all of them. You gotta use those little small wood screws and those funky looking round circular cams. What do they call those? Not sure. These weird cams that they're like guides that you put in there once you put the railing in there, and then you use the teeny weeny little screws and you make sure that little guide from the cam is sticking out. I'm not really sure why they do that. I think it's like an adjustment thing, but whatever happened, it worked because the drawers slide in and out perfectly. They come in and out very nicely. So rinse and repeat, a little bit of a visual. And you stick them in. Gotta put the knobs on these drawers too after this is done. I'm starting to wind down. On the video here. Thank goodness. I hope it helped. It took me forever to put it together, the unit, and it took me forever to, probably took me longer to do the video than the unit though. Editing the video. I mean, I got like, I don't know, 4 hours of video. My feet and the sky. Oh, now I'm doing the, doing the side rails for the small ones. But yeah, editing these videos sucks. It takes forever. You know, because you gotta edit out the terrible stuff, you know. Crying and hurting myself and crying more. Being pestered. Crying again. So I had to edit all that out. And then I got to put audio in, because you certainly don't want to hear me while I'm doing the assembly, because it's all I'm doing is crying. Oh, it sucks. It's so hard. See that? There's that cam, and I don't know. I like put it in the middle, I guess. Anyway, so yeah, I gotta narrate it after, and that way I can maybe give a little bit better detail. I mean, if I narrate it while I'm doing it, I don't know. It's a big mess. Plus the audio on my knockoff GoPro. It's not really a GoPro. It's like one of these, you know, Chinese knockoffs. So I think I'm coming to an end. It does look like it's getting to the end. And now I'm putting in the little knobs. I wonder if I showed a finished product. It came out nice. Some very nice desks, real solid. I like it. Anyway, I do hope it helped. I mean, I did it just to help folks. I'm sorry if it didn't help. Don't be angry.